Hey guys, I wanted to just give you a quick recap on a case that or a session that I just did with a gentleman who's a police officer, worked on the Columbine incident a number of years ago, still been dealing with a lot of post-traumatic stress because of that. Very accomplished law enforcement officer. Besides, being a police officer, he was also military police. He has been a hostage negotiator with a SWAT team and also crime scene tech. So he's done a lot of stuff over his career. And obviously, there's a compilation of events and experiences. Columbine's a big one, but he's also had other ones. And in fact, some of the stuff that we worked on were more of the other ones. So I just want to sort of share what he was experiencing. Because they do so much in law enforcement with those kinds of situations, they obviously get a lot of help, a lot of psychological help. So they are constantly sort of being reviewed and analyzed, and that's actually part of the problem. They do so much analysis after one of these incidents because they look at it and they try to figure out right and wrong, what could they have done better. And that actually is reinforcing the trauma. So, and I know they have to do that to some degree, but after going through the session, he was actually very, very excited that it was so different. That because what they're taught is that when they have an emotion, right, that they need to manage and cope and live with this, which is typical of what we hear all the time. And he was really pleasantly surprised when I told him that the emotions are called for an action. What action do we need to do now? So where a little bit of the issue came in for him was, well, what I don't understand is I have to analyze, and if I analyze, right, isn't that a good thing? But if I analyze, it's going to create the emotions. And I said, you can still do the analysis without the emotion. In fact, you're going to be even better at doing the analysis when you can do that. Now, obviously, right after an incident, that's very difficult to do. But as time has gone on, what I said to him, I said, where the dysfunction is not having an emotion at that time. That makes sense. Where the dysfunction is coming in is if you have an emotion 20 years later, when you're looking at that again. And he has spoken, at numerous events. He's actually a trainer now as well. So every time he talks about this, similar to what Rebecca had gone through, when she would go out, speak, and do her talks, she would get very emotional when she talked. The same thing with him, because he's reliving it. So he was very excited to hear that we could actually change that. And one of the things that I did with him is we went through, obviously, a couple of the different events. But I actually added in the breathing exercises to that when I did it with him, and that really helped. So anyway, it's just interesting to sort of see how when you deal with people who have all that professional help, how as much as we think that's really great, they actually overcomplicate it and they bring so much analysis into it that it just gets bogged down. So he was very excited. He really liked what we did. He said it's very different. It may be something that he could implement into some of the training that law enforcement does because it was so different. It wasn't the same old, let's look at it, let's analyze it, turn it inside out, upside down on how you're feeling. It was really getting to the root and the science of why are we experiencing this and does it make sense? And that's what he got. So anyway, very good session. He was very excited to hear about a new method. And so maybe something that he may be willing to start opening up and looking at doing for other law enforcement officers. So anyway, great session. Just wanted to give you a recap.